Good morning, everybody. It's Frosty today. Happy birthday, everybody. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. I know, it's an unusual way to start, but I thought it was such a beautiful photograph that I thought I'd do that. Okay, quick happy birthdays, and then we're getting on to the topic of the day. And then we'll say happy birthday properly to these people at the end of the video. That's what we're going to try and do from now on. And then maybe even do a Q&A after 10 minutes if anybody's interested and chatting. That's how the new format's going to work, hopefully with a bit of luck. Lisa Hamilton Smith, happy birthday. Hayley Perkins, Zoe, I got you in twice for some reason. Zoe Claire Barker and Zoe Barker. Jen Young, Vanessa Lanham Day, Daisy Shaw, hope you're doing well, late Daisy. Karen Shakespeare, and I've just realised I've forgotten to go and check you all out, so there's those of you who I don't know particularly well. I'm not sure if I can talk to you properly. Zoe again, and then Joe V. And good morning, Adele, how are you doing? Good morning. Okay, so on to the topic of the day today, the snowball effect, also known as Tiddly Pom. We'll come on to that in a minute. And also known as the compound effect, of course. You know the idea with the snowball effect. You start creating a snowball and you roll it in the snow. Obviously the frost here is not quite snow, but it's gives us the impression of that. Oh, by the way, Adele, if anybody's watching later on, there's a beautiful bit at the beginning where I do a beautiful video of the frost and the sunshine and stuff. So go watch the beginning of this video. It'll be a lovely picture. And then you roll it down the hill and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes down the hill, right? So the same thing with the compound effect in business. It's compound interest. You put the interest back into the account and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and it has this exponential growth, which for some reason Tony Robbins always talks about being geometric progression. It's not actually geometric progression, it's an exponential projection, but you know, there you go. He also doesn't know how to clap as well. He does this weird clapping like this with his, instead of actually proper clapping. But there you go. Criticism of Tony Robbins on this video today. Not criticism, maybe not. Anyway, so that's the idea. Tiddly Pom comes from the Tao of Pooh, or presumably Winnie the Pooh books. Is where it actually happens. There's a little song, he says Tiddly Pom. The snow falls, Tiddly Pom. Snowballs grow, Tiddly Pom, or whatever. And basically it's saying things happen and then more things happen. And then because of the first things that happen, more things happen. And it's a growth effect. It's a starting off small and growing bigger and bigger and bigger. And that's what we can all do in life to make things better. So here's how we tie it all together, as often it is. The Evan Carmichael Enspresso video, which is the third one down on my John V. Denley /morning website, and it's linked directly in the expressions today, is all about getting started. So, and he talks about in there a really cool story. It's kind of a sad story, but it also sounds a little bit like the story of my life as well, of a guy who wanted to become a songwriter, and he was at one of Evan's seminars, and Evan said to him, well, how long have you wanted to be a songwriter? And he said, well over 10 years. And he's like, okay, so what have you done? What have you created? And he says, well, I've been trying to get a song right and trying to figure it out. And then Evan says to him, don't listen to anything I say for the next 7 minutes until the break. I want you to just write your song. It doesn't matter how good it is, doesn't matter what it is. I just want you to have something done in the next 7 minutes because I want to have a look at it in the break. And so the guy just sits down and writes a song in 7 minutes. And Evan comes up to him in the break and looks at it and says, great, that's fantastic. I want you up on stage singing it after the break. I'm not sure this is how the exact story goes, but I'm embellishing a little bit. And he says, no, well, it's not finished yet. It's not perfect. He said, doesn't matter. Just get up on stage and sing the song. Show everybody what it is. And of course, he gets up on stage and, again, slightly embellishing. Presumably he gets a round of applause and everybody loves it. And he starts to cry. And he says, whoa, what's going on? Why are you crying? And he says, because I've made more progress in 7 minutes than I have in 10 years, just because somebody made him take action. And the whole point of this is take action. Start something. If you want to start a YouTube channel, just start a YouTube channel. Do the first video. Say, I have no idea what I'm talking about. This is kind of what I had. If you watch my video back in May 4th, I think it was, I basically said, right, I'm going to do a video live every day. And here we are, November the 26th. And I'm still doing a live video almost every day. Not quite every day because things have happened and stuff, but mostly every single day, without fail. and here we are, as I say, coming up towards Christmas. 1 month's time it'll be Boxing Day. How mad is that? It's not even very far away from 2021. We finally got 2020 behind us. Yay. Anyway, but the compound effect, the snowball effect, Tiddly Pom, is all about taking small actions on a daily basis to build towards a bigger destination. I hope you had a lovely birthday yesterday, by the way, Adele. I can see you viewing on here, and it was your birthday yesterday, so I hope that was a lovely day for you. Moving forward, and not letting perfectionism get in the way of action. Not letting perfectionism get in the way of progress. And this is definitely me. I'm completely talking about myself here. This is definitely my problem here. I talk about things a lot. Great ideas, love ideas, and then I never actually take the action enough to make it to turn it into money, if I'm perfectly honest. I was talking to somebody on Twitter, a girl on Twitter yesterday, or the day before, can't remember now, and she was saying, oh, my life is terrible, I've got no money, I've got no relationships and all that kind of stuff. She's a beautiful lady, so can't really understand why she hasn't got a relationship, but that's a different story, I imagine. But she was talking about how she hasn't got any money, and I was like, well, have you thought about like just starting something up online? And she was like, well, I don't know anything. And I was like, well, what do you know? You must know something that somebody else doesnn't know. And she started talking about catering. I haven't explored it any further, but she's catering. I don't know what catering means exactly. I need to ask that question, but I'm now starting to say to her, well, maybe if you did a YouTube channel on catering and just did videos, and people will watch you just because you're a pretty girl, and then the content is not necessarily that important, but then the content will get better over time because you'll do it, and then you'll get feedback, and people will say, well, can you show us how to do this? And then you go, oh yeah, I can show you how to do that, and it becomes, and it snowballs over time. But of course, if you don't get started, you never get started, and you never get that feedback, and you never move forward. And that's the same for me. I've been talking about doing my Rubik's Cube course for weeks on end, as you can probably know. I do have an old one, and you do a new one. I'm doing one at the moment, which is how to solve the Rubik's Cube without learning how to solve the Rubik's Cube, which is basically sort of step by step, colour here, move the colour here, and all that kind of stuff. And I got about 5 or 6 people who said, yeah, I'll beta test that for you, check that out and make sure it works for you. But I haven't done it yet, so I've got to crack on with that. That's my job for today, one solo job for today, really. So yeah. Don't let perfectionism get in the way of progress, and also so to tie it all together again, so we did the book, we've done the video, now we've got to get the Blinkist book of the day coming into there. So this is about the Peloponnesian War today, which is the war between the Athens and Sparta in the 400 BC or whatever it was, and you might think to yourself, crikey, that's how can you connect that? And of course, this does also bring into the point the fact that Blinkist books of the day are very varied. So here I am listening today, and I've listened to the Peloponnesian War from the 400 BC between Athens and Sparta, and I've learnt the whole sort of history of that, how that worked and why it started, and the parallels with World War I and all that started. And so this is why I say listen to the Blinkist book of the day, because it forces you to listen to something that you wouldn't necessarily always listen to, but it also gives you insights and learning about the world around us as well. And the thing that I got from that book was the pointlessness of war, basically. They had a 10-year war, and at the end of it, nothing changed. They just killed each other and fought over a bit of land rather than loving each other. And again, so it comes back to, well, why did the war start? Well, the war started because one country had a civil war and then they asked for help from another country, and then another country didn't want to have anything to do with it, but then they attacked them, and they said, well, we'll only defend them if somebody attacks them, and then somebody attacked them, so then they had to defend them, and then they had to put their wars in there, so they stacked on top of each other, and it was a compound effect, and it turned into a 10-year war just because some little town got upset with their county leaders not doing what they wanted them to do. I'm not sure if that was the exact story, but some little town squabble basically turned into a 10-year war between Athens and Sparta. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Send out love much more than you send out hate. That's basically my rule from there. And be careful where your snowball effect can come to, but use it for good instead of bad. So use the snowball effect to your positive outcomes instead of to a negative outcome. Take positive steps and move forward in that way. Okay, that's all from me. I'm going to send you all love. Mwah. I am going to send you out into the world, and I'm going to end the regular video at that point because I know I've run out of time.